Hi everyone, Chris Nansky here. I'm the National Director of Business Development as well as the Rocky Mountain Regional Director for Superfoot Systems, and welcome to your Business Tip of the Month. Today I want to talk about the importance of planning, and specifically annual planning. I know that when I was running my martial arts school, this was one of the most important things and processes that I did each and every year. I can't tell you how many times that I'm talking with martial arts instructors and they're oftentimes thinking, well, I think I'll do this next month and I might do this the month after, and they really haven't thought out a plan. And when that is happening, what ends up happening is we tend to be reactive in our business versus being proactive. In fact, oftentimes when we're having a bad month and revenue just isn't coming in, and we start digging ourselves in and trying to create something, it's most likely too late, because the experience that you're having now is based on the planning that you did months before. And I think the annual plan is one of the more important features that I did when I owned my school and when I'm coaching fellow school owners to take you through the process. So I just want to give you some top line stuff, things on the top of my head in terms of doing the annual plan and how you can create it. So think about this, think about that you're basically creating a structure or a foundation. So if you were building a house, you would be putting up the studs of the wall and the foundation, and that's what your annual plan is for your business. So the first thing when I was doing this work, and I would normally do this every October, November, I'd be planning for the upcoming year, is the first thing I do is I get really solid on all of my belt testing dates. So we belt tested four belt tests a year for color belt, 2 for black belt testing. And so I knew that in the second Saturday of the last month of every quarter, so March, June, September, and December, I had a belt test. And then what I also did is at the end of April, as well as the end of October, I had a black belt testing. So those were my 6 anchored dates in my school calendar, and everything basically revolved around those. And those were dates that I would tell the entire school population, all the parents, they would get a letter at the end of the previous year giving them those dates, because I didn't want to have people, I have a vacation, I didn't know this was happening. If I gave them those dates, what ended up happening is a much greater amount of students were testing and testing on time. So that's the first thing, is build that structure with your testing dates. The next thing I would do is I would anchor in my special events. And what I would normally try to do is have one big special event every quarter. And so, for instance, my 2 black belt testings was what I would do in the spring and in the fall. And then I would do generally some sort of special event that was maybe a revenue generating event, a guest instructor, maybe Bill Superfoot Wallace, and bring them in on those alternate those 2 other quarters. So I had those as anchors. So now what I've done is I've created a big special event for each one of the quarters. And then in the subsequent months, so let's say in this case, I have an April black belt test, and then I have a May and I have June, then I would have smaller special events, maybe parent nights out, maybe a glow chuck seminar, maybe buddy days. And what I would do is I would then fill those in. And so now what I would have is I'd have an entire school calendar based on testing dates, special events, and revenue generating activities. Next, what I would do is I would input the school closures. Am I going to be closed over 4th of July? I'm going to be closed over the holiday seasons at the end of the year. And I would put those in as well. So now what I've done is I've created this calendar, and vacations, now I can now look at that and say, when am I going to personally take vacations? How can I plan staff vacations based on what our special events are? Also, I put in their charity events. So where can I put those in and sprinkle those in throughout the time? And then finally, and also incredibly importantly, what about your marketing efforts? So again, if you're reacting at the end of a month and things are tight, it's because of work that wasn't done prior. So layered on top of that also comes your marketing plan. Are there coupon books? Is there Facebook advertising? Is there, are you doing in-house referral contests, etc. Those are placed in as well. So now what you've got is this entire template that you have for the year, and here's where it gets really good. That template that you create in the year now, you can just take and basically overlay that onto the next year. The dates will change a little bit, and some of the events might change too, but you've got now a working document that you can use to plan your entire calendar. Now, we're not going to go into it in great detail on this video, but then that planning also then continues down. I did class planners, and so every 3 months for the color belts, I had planned classes that were going to happen during that time. I could plan when I was going to have my staff meetings and my staff trainings. All those things came an integral part. So now what ends up happening is you're able to work on your business strategically on the outside versus in your business reacting. Should I do this? Should I do that? It's already done. So that's my little message for you this month is take some time and do an annual school plan. Because remember, this isn't a hobby, this is a business. And if you go to any major business, they're going to be doing annual plans for their business. And as martial arts school owners, professional martial arts school owners, we need to do that as well. So this has been Chris Natsky with Superfoot Systems. If you have any questions whatsoever, please reach out to me. I'd love to help you with this kind of material. And here's the best to you in the upcoming year. Have great business, great life, and keep kicking. We'll see you next time.